Hey there guys, this is Robin Hood, and today I am bringing you a 2 versus 2 that I played with Mike and Huge on the Gallicanria map in Napoleon Total War. Our opponents today are Jimmy and Jeff Man in, I guess those are clans, BCN and GDA. But yeah, this is an older replay, but figured I should throw up some more Total War for you guys. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to upload everything, so, like a schedule deal so that you're not maybe getting like 7 Total War games in a day and then waiting a month and then getting one and then waiting another month and then getting five, Obviously, it hasn't been a month, it's been like a week, but still. So I'll try to have everything more regular for you all so that you guys can figure out what's going on. But in this battle, Mike and I are both playing as Prussia, and I'm going to read Mike's army first, just because his has to move pretty quickly due to this hill up here. So he's got, looks like 3 Prussian Fusiliers and 2 Silesian Schützen and foot guards. How many? 3? 8th Life Regiment, and 4 musketeers, and then he has some calves somewhere. Here's his 7-pound howitzer, and these guys, I don't know what they are. They must be Toarxes. That must be a DLC unit. I don't have the DLCs, so that's why I don't know what they are. And the Brandenburg Uhlans. So right off the bat here, he has to run forward because this guy, Britain over here, his army's also going to get disappear pretty quickly, so he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lightfoot, and let's see, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 foot units, 8, 9, so a ton of foot units, which actually isn't that bad as Britain, considering these guys have way better stats than any of the other foot units in the game that aren't elite. So that's just a perk of being Britain. Then he has his own 5-inch howitzer, his general, and this cav, which is just going to charge 3 dragoon guards. They're going to run up here and just kind of charge down the hill and stop Mike from getting up the hill. So it was a valid tactic. And these guys are going to hit this cav, and one of them's going to push through and actually take out the artillery, so that's going to be the end of that. So my army here is going to be in kind of an awkward position. Mike's going to have to fight an uphill battle against Britain. And that's not a situation you normally want to be in, and as you can see, things aren't going perfectly with this cavalry just disrupting, very much so disrupting his movement forward. So my army has to face this way to keep this army from landing on my flank. And I also have to leave some forces to stop my opponent. So there's like a slight ridge line here, kind of broken up, that I'm going to take up, and then obviously over here I'm downhill, which kind of sucks. But I have got, I believe, 2 Jaegers and 3 Prussian Fusilier, and 1, 2, 3, I'd say. I don't know. Not that many musketeers. I've got 3 foot guards, musketeers, that's 3 of them. Yeah, and then the 8th Life Regiment. So that's pretty much my army. Kind of confusing. And then I have these 2, or 1, I do have 2 cuirassier. One's coming over here because since Mike's artillery is getting taken out, this guy has no cavalry to guard, and his arty's still pretty far back. So I am going to rush forth and try to help it out by taking this artillery unit out, because if this guy has artillery and Mike doesn't, especially when this guy holds the hill, that makes Mike have to attack rather than have time to maneuver, and that's not a good position. So this guy's going to try to chase and stop me with my general, or not my general, his general, but he won't get there in time. My cav is going to go down, but so is this artillery. So here comes a volley from up there. Yeah, that's not pretty. But it isn't pretty for his artillery either, and there they all go. My cavalry is going to go down. I'm going to try to get his general, but my men are not making it out of there. You can see they got mowed down pretty quickly. Nothing I can do about that, but the artillery unit is down, so I think it was worth it, because that gives Mike time to maneuver, and it was at this time I suggested to him, see this side? This is higher ground, and it's not as steep of a hill as over here. Move your force up here and through the woods onto his flank. And as you can see, you can't even tell that there's British troops in the woods, because these trees block the flags of these units. So Mike's going to have a hard time because he has to control everything like this to see where things are. So now on my side, over here, this is the one really good move my opponent got on me. His Royal Scots Greys are going to charge in on my Prussian Fusilier, which I wasn't watching. I was moving troops over this way, and these guys were exposed. That was just a mistake on my part. He's going to back out of there, though, because he's taken some fire, and that's going to be that. So these guys are alive, just damaged, but that was a good move on his part, and soon I'm going to shift some units over. And this guy's got one cav unit back here, still alive, which is going to make a dash for my artillery, but I've got my cavalry unit ready. But basically, my opponent here has a ton of rifles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Everyone has 5 because that was the rules. But just checking, you know, sometimes people bring 4 or 3. And notice he deployed stakes right here. He was planning on sitting here. And I completely, once he moves his army over here, I completely forget about the stakes over here, because from back here you can't even see them. So you'll see how that ends up later, but taking some shots at his artillery with my own. Got one of the horses. Not really anything of value. Here comes a volley from his, and no real hits there, although that was pretty close to my general unit. Not very safe. And you can see over here, my cavalry is going to take out what's left of this Dragoon Guard. And I have Musketeer ready there, firing in. So that's that. So now you can see Mike is bringing all of his good units, the Foot Guards and such, over to this flank. He's making his push through these woods like I suggested. And my army's sitting here. I'm bringing some guys back. And then I have Musketeers. Soon I'm going to end up leaving the Foot Guards and bringing back the Musketeers, as you can see there. Because these guys, hopefully, will be able to withstand an uphill assault. And I have 2 skirmish units there for them. And these guys, I'm going to have to pull back when this guy starts moving. So, right now, I could attack my opponent, but he's got a pretty good position. His skirmishers would definitely win. He's pretty well set up. Not really smart, especially considering I don't have a lot of room to maneuver. He has the cavalry advantage as well. He has more than me. I only have 1 unit. And, you know, his rifles are better anyway, plus these stakes actually do provide quite a decent amount of cover. They'll suck up a lot of fire. So I'm just trying to win the artillery duel and hopefully make him have to move. Taking out 2 cannons. His are firing back. But soon he's going to move to support his ally, kind of. And can just see this guy has way more line than I do, too. Although this unit doesn't really count fencibles, but you know, militia units, they can do a lot of damage if you don't send them in first. If you use them to get on the flank, it's a nuisance. So, you know, one of 2 things will happen. People will say, oh, it's a militia, and ignore them because it's not going to hurt you. Well, flanking fire from anything hurts you, and militia, they can still lay down the pain. Or you say, well, yes, it's fencibles, but I have to turn and face them, and it doesn't really matter if you lose them. But you have to turn and face them to avoid the flank fire. It really just, you know, not that good to be taking fire from. So if you use them right, they're good. Now he is switching targets to my Foot Guards, and I'm going to pull them back soon. Just because I don't really want my guys to die, considering that is what he's firing at. And those are my best units. And you can see he is shifting over now, so I'm going to be in a tough position with people here, half my army fighting it, and half over here. And really, Mike did need the support. His army got messed up at the beginning, and you know, fighting Britain uphill is not a good idea. So you can see the smoke going on in these woods. He's getting some flanking fire. Actually, this is going to be a really close flanking fire. Let's see if these guys, how they feel about this volley. Yeah, here comes these foot guards firing. Tons of them dropping there. They're almost going to rout. Look at that. So, the foot guards were a good idea. The musketeers here backing up. Mike's moving up slightly. But basically, like I said, once he starts pressing into these woods, you can't really see the formation of the men in here unless you get down in it. And it's really hard to line up troops from this view. So this is going to be a really long battle. And it is over here. Let's see, are these Mikes? Yeah, these are Mikes. He's going to charge forward into these rifles. I don't exactly remember why we decided this was a good time, but this unit is going to make it and then get pretty quickly mowed down. There's one of my artillery shots coming in, but you can see my skirmishers are firing, and so far everything's going well. These men, I kind of laid off the flank there because of the large force to my front, and right now would have maybe been a good time to attack. The only thing is, it is dangerous considering if I attack, like the main thing stopping me was this building here. It's a pain to get men out of the buildings, and that would be on my flank, and I would have to waste 1 to 2 whole units to get these men out of here, putting them in that can't fire. And this guy has so much infantry, he can send this unit here, and there's another one right here hidden in the woods. He can send both of them and this rifle unit down on my flank, which he's kind of doing now. And Mike would still have to fight all of this, which is still very risky for him fighting uphill. Now you can see this battle's moved into the woods. Can't really see what's going on, just that there's a lot of smoke. So, you know, Mike and I both... It was a very tricky position for both of us this battle. I had to handle my flank, he had to handle hoping that this flank succeeded. And eventually what would have happened is if these guys routed, he would have had to bring these units up here, because that's a lot smarter than attacking through here. And, you know, if that happened, this guy would either have to turn and face it, or, you know, he could leave a few units to face it and come get me. So it was pretty interesting. And over here, turning my foot guards because of the cavalry over here. I don't know what my artillery's shooting at the moment. You can see there is a skirmish going on here. I did run up my foot guards, took a volley or two into all of this stuff, but I'm going to withdraw so that I don't lose too many of them there. Start pulling back these guys, and you can see these artillery shots. And later on, guys, there is literally one artillery shot. Oh my god, you guys will find this incredible if I can catch it. I'm going to make sure I do. I'm just going to explain everything else that's happening and sit there and wait for it. But there's one that kills literally about 125 men, one shell. And you're like, well, that's OP. How did that happen? You'll see. It was completely by chance that it was the right shell with the right accuracy at the right time and place. So let's see, you can see the skirmishing going on here. I'm just kind of clicking attack orders because why did I accidentally have those guys? That's a glitch. I had them firing at these guys. But his men outrange mine, so I have to kind of come forward to get them or pull back. And if I pull back, I mean, it's better for me to be right on the edge of the woods where I have some cover but still shoot out of it. If you're deeper in, you get as much cover as your enemy, even if they're out here, because you're shooting through all the trees too. And you can see back here I'm just shuffling units because of this cav. Look at that, that's a pretty building. That has nothing to do with this. But these cav units are going to end up going this way, and I alerted Mike of them. Because this guy thinks he's going to catch Mike, but we were communicating and he's just going to turn into a square. Reason I'm saying that is because he's probably going to miss that. You can see this fight still going on. These guys are pushing through the woods. They've pushed up from back over here. So doing well. Making our way forward. Here comes some more Silesian Schützen into it. And what is this? Yeah, foot guard melee charge. I don't know if these guys were out of ammo or not. But you can see they are obviously charging here. Some melee combat. See if any of these guys go down. And I'm watching the mini-map to see if anything's really going on my side. Oh, that guy just got stabbed. And there goes a foot guard. Yep, this was the second game that they actually had the animated kills. Empire was the first, I believe. Right here you can see my men shuffling forward. Got a nice artillery shot there. Things are going well. His artillery opened fire again, so I am targeting them once more, and that was a pretty nice shot. Interesting that I caught that one. And that wasn't actually targeting the general, he just happened to be standing there. Yeah, that wasn't smart. Yeah, here's, you see all these dead cav? That was me forgetting about the stakes and running after the artillery once his army moved off. That was stupid. That was just a fail micro mistake, so 2 mistakes this battle, leaving my men like that, and yeah, that mess there. But at this point, this cavalry is going to charge in the back, and I'm going to bring my units back over. And here you can see I'm pulling back my skirmishers, what's left of them, because he brought up his line and fired off a volley. And at this point, this artillery can only reach my flank. I'm gonna leave them to whatever they're doing and focus my now superior gun force on this infantry, which definitely outclasses mine, especially with the numbers. So you can see he's coming up onto the flank, and my foot guards are going to come and try to save the day there. My men got the first volley though. That artillery is slightly hitting my flank, and my men seem to be firing at these fencibles. Don't know if that was smart or not, but it's not going to matter in a second, because my foot guards have this hill advantage here and are going to open up. And look at that artillery back there. And there they go. Yeah, excellent volley. Look at how many men dropped along that line. Huh. That was excellent. And these guys are going to rout after one more volley. There we go. And now my foot guards are going to start rolling up the flank here. And over here we're making another assault up the hill. Mike is joining in this time because he has thinned them out in here. You can see it's just melee fights. And these units are just firing into it. Now charging. So this guy's been pretty whittled down. So we're assaulting up the hill. These are my foot guards and my skirmishers on the flank there. Look at that. Doing some damage to this unit. Gotta love foot guards. Gotta love them. So this is when things on my end get kind of interesting. My guy's shuffling his line around, and I don't really know what he was doing, but he has way more infantry than me. Better infantry, and this could have been a valid tactic had he stayed with it. But you'll see. That was a decent shot. Would have been nice if we had gotten a bigger blob of them. But pretty soon here, this guy, I thought he was running this way to, or it looks as if he's running this way to reinforce the hill while it's still slightly held, where he can hold out. And I see this, and I'm like, nah, you're not getting up there. I'm going to charge forward my men and try and stop him. And he sees that he's going to get hit on the flank, so he's going to turn, and his instant reaction here is just going to be a mass melee charge. Look at that. That was a terrible volley. Every single round hit the ground here. That wasn't on purpose. I couldn't really see. You can't tell from up here. But this mass melee charge across the line, yeah, I'm going to get some great volleys in, but it keeps my artillery from shooting, or else I might hit my own men. And he has so much more infantry that this could work. This could punch right through. But at this point, Mike's done pretty well, so we've pretty much got this, and I'm leaving this unit, even though it's firing on my flank, for Mike to come get, because I need these foot guards. Look at that. Just a charge along the line. tons of men. And look, my line's just so thin compared to that horde. Here he actually did break through. And that looks like it killed some of my own men. Definitely some of his. But now my army's in disarray, and his, so I guess it's even there. I've got the flanking fire as he's running away here with these foot guards. And so this is going to draw to a close pretty quickly. You can see these guys back here are... I don't even know which units they're firing at. It almost looks like their own. No, the foot guards still. So you can see we're pushing forward. I am reinforcing, filling the gaps that were in my line, bringing over these foot guards. I believe this unit's still alive, though. And there's still a unit in this building, which is... Oh, no, they came out. They just came out. Okay. So you can see all that. Yeah, filling in the gaps that were created. And here comes the next melee charge. Now let me explain this really quickly. All of this is going to come from my foot guards, these guys here. I'm going to wrap around, hammer and anvil them, and then come over here. Watch this. This is a massive blob of troops, okay? It's going to get really thick troops really quickly. Look at this just massive horde coming in. And we're just going to watch this. This massive blob of British troops. There you go. Ho, ho, ho. Look at all the dead on the ground now. Man, oh man. That killed everybody. Look at that. One artillery shell just about saved my unit over there. Very well placed. Decimated all these units. You can see I broke through. Have units coming in for the hammer and anvil. And that's going to be that. Man, that was an artillery shot. And over here, the last of these guys going down. My foot guards are going to make a final charge. Kind of forgot about this unit with the giant melee fight going on. But you can see the last units are holding out. These are foot guards. Yeah, it looks like King's German Legion foot and some foot guards. And killed their general. That's his artillery shot. I'm pretty blobbed up here too, so he wasn't anywhere near as lucky. I mean, but right here, that was just crazy. That decimated all those units. They just about routed. Right time, right place. Perfect. So overall, it was a fun battle. Mike's gonna mop up these small units here, and everyone else is gonna rout because of how awesome we are. Nah, that's just how the game works. Morale effect. So that's that. Can see, I actually took more. We deployed the exact same. I took more losses than Mike in that battle. Killed slightly more, but I took about 200 more losses, slightly over actually. So yeah, it was a bloody one for me. Both of our opponents deployed quite a bit more than us. This guy not as actually. This guy didn't. This guy did. So I'd say overall that actually about evens out. So we had about the same. They did have slightly more troops. But you can see here, my artillery really wasn't doing anything until that last shot. That put them up here. Yeah. Foot guards up top. All that good stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. I thought it was an interesting one. Slightly long, but, you know, fun. So hope you all enjoyed watching, and I will see you all next time with more. Thank you for watching.